On my last video about the whole Iranian situation, I had a guy who claimed to be Iranian say that I got it all wrong. He actually said that he was at the funeral/protest and there were women and children there, and it was basically a celebration of a great man. And in honesty, there were some women and children there, but they were a minority and did not look like they wanted to be there. Then a couple days later, a female Olympic medalist defected from Iran. Here's what she said. I am one of the millions of oppressed women in Iran who have been playing with me for years. They took me wherever they wanted. Whatever they said, I wore. Every sentence they ordered, I repeated. Whenever they saw fit, they exploited me. They put my medals on the obligatory veil and attributed it to their management and tact. Here's a woman who has worked so hard that she brought honor to her country, and she was oppressed, so much so that she had to get out. To our younger viewers, the ladies in Iran used to be free to wear clothes like this. Now they do what they're told, period. Even women from the West who went there to report on the recent situation wore what the men in Iran told them to wear. Think about that. A woman from the United States who claims that Republicans and Donald Trump have an ongoing war against women goes to Iran and does what men tell her to do. I won't and can't even tell my wife what to do, let alone women in general. And in Iran, a woman's word doesn't carry as much weight as a man's in a court of law. They're forced to dress a certain way. They can't attend sporting events. They can't often go places alone. And they're not even allowed to dance. And come on, ladies, you know how much you love to dance. Maybe you remember the 18-year-old girl who was dancing in her bedroom without a headscarf and posting it on Instagram. She got arrested and her confession was aired on national TV. Her forced confession, that is. Because who knows what the men in charge would have done to her if she had not confessed. She was said to have broken moral norms, and that's illegal. Compare that to the United States, where you can get called a homophobe for saying that being heterosexual is normal. They call it heteronormativity, and they say that's a bad thing. Liberal journalists who believe this nonsense will go to Iran and put on the headscarf. They say it's out of respect. But respect for what? A country run by a bunch of men that oppress women? A self-proclaimed feminist will go against everything she says she believes in if it lets her take a jab at the Republicans, the party that fought for her equal rights starting around the mid-1800s. I'm sorry, but if you aren't strong enough to refuse wearing a headscarf, then you have no business calling yourself a feminist. It would be one thing to dress a certain way for work, but that's not what this is. It's a totally different thing to do it out of respect for a country where men oppress women. And right on cue, 2 Iranian news anchors just quit their jobs, and one of them apologized for telling the people lies for 13 years. I wish some news anchors in our country would quit for telling lies, but they're not going to. Our news anchors, unlike those in Iran, choose to lie, or even worse. Ask Nick Salmon about that. His lawsuit probably should have been a class action lawsuit because media organizations like CNN are slandering millions of us on a daily basis. But I digress. Iran has been brewing for quite some time now, and instead of our news organizations helping, they're hurting the cause. They treat the death of Soleimani like it's a tragedy, but when thousands of young people protest the regime, it's barely a story. Why? If you're an American woman, you should be standing up for the millions who are oppressed. They're oppressed so badly that a celebrated Olympian, the only Iranian woman to ever win a medal, was willing to leave everything she's ever known just to gain her freedom. And she's not the only athlete to do so recently. Sadly, being a feminist today has nothing to do with women's rights and everything to do with pushing a far-left agenda. And that's why a leftist woman will gladly wear a headscarf. And if the people in charge in Iran had their way, every woman in the world would be forced to wear a headscarf. So let's not forget who these people are. Now, let's dance. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel And if you want to become a supporting member of Blue Collar Logic, click on the link in the description and give what you can.